Hello and welcome. I got called to look at my Lightworkers Oracle card deck by Alana Fairchild yesterday actually, and but the message was very much for today and onwards. Whenever it reaches you is the perfect timing. I pulled a couple of cards from the deck, and both really complement each other really well. I really do love Alana Fairchild's work. She's a beautiful channel, beautiful clear channel, working with the divine. So just so you can see, this is her deck, the Lightworker Oracle Guidebook. I've had it for a few years actually, and I haven't used it for a little while, so it was interesting that I got called to use it yesterday, and I pulled two cards from it. The first one was number 7, which is unplug from mass consciousness, and the second one is number 37, which is the heart transmission. And when I read them both together, it was very apparent that they really complement each other. And unplugging from mass consciousness, that's a big one, and I think that's happening a lot this year as we ascend. A lot of us are awakening to the truth of reality, to the truth of the illusions that are all around us. The truth that there is a matrix, there is a consciousness that has tried to keep us down, keep us small, keep us in fear, keep us in scarcity. And the more people awaken, the more they tap into their higher selves, what will happen is that consciousness gets dismantled, gets disrupted, and we were bringing in a lot more of God source energy and God frequency. So that kind of a frequency is so high in love and light that as soon as it hits the planet, it through our bodies, through us embodying all of these codes from central sun, source consciousness, it's going to disrupt the current matrix, the fear programming that is essentially running the show for a very long time. So it's as uncomfortable as it is, it's super exciting at the same time, to see that there is a shift in consciousness. It is super uncomfortable, for all of us, but I think the more conscious and the more aware we are of what's happening, in terms of even astrological events, things like that, we're able to sort of navigate it a little bit easier. The more we know, the easier it is. So. And it's a fascinating, the mass consciousness is just, it's quite fascinating how it has developed over the years. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and a really good friend, and we both are just so into spirituality and all the things, that go with that. And both of us, have been reading the Bible, but both of us had the same experience with the Old Testament, and, there was lots of works and talks about, killing animals, maiming animals, sacrificing animals, and then also killing people, And so it was interesting to hear her point of view, because I actually went through the exact same thing, and she offered me such a great explanation. Shout out to you, Mayola. Like, honestly, you are the wisdom keeper. You are a wealth of information. I just absolutely adore our conversations. Just in terms of the consciousness. So both of us at the time when we read the Bible, the Old Testament, we were like, how can this be God? How can this doesn't make sense. It talks about killing and maiming, and it just sounds very barbaric almost, and she offered the explanation that it was God's source consciousness back then. And the New Testament, obviously, after Jesus rose and ascended, and everything he did for us, that was the sacrifice. So we no longer have to, sacrifice animals in order to connect to God, you know. So that was essentially the turning point with the Old and the New Testament, as far as I reading it. I hope that's correct. I'm still very new to reading the Bible, so I love to hear other people's points of view. But it was lovely to hear, you know, because it is essentially consciousness, and even the consciousness of our planet is evolving. And the more we, you know, as human beings, we tap into our God self, our higher guidance, the more we are literally bringing in that frequency and helping humanity evolve. But not only humanity, but planet Earth as well, helping her evolve. Like, you know, it's a really exciting time to be alive. Like, all of us on the planet at this point in time, it's very exciting. And you know, like years ago, I wouldn't have even understood all this, because, you know, before my awakening, I had no idea. I just thought we were here, we just existed, you know. And then, you know, now it's like, after having my awakening, I'm realizing, oh, we're here for a reason, we're here for a purpose, we're here for a mission, and, you know, there's more to this life. And, you know, when you start embodying that, life gets so much more exciting. And when you're tapping into God's source and you know, the Heavenly Father and the Divine Mother, you know, we've got Goddess, the Earth, you know, Mother Earth, Mother Gaia. Like, you know, you're tapping into a frequency that's just so loving and so unconditionally loving, because you know, it is the source of creation, and it is where we've come from, you know. So as we're all learning to tap into our higher self, this is what's happening, and we're all embodying that on the planet. We're emanating that amount of light and frequency. It's a ripple effect, as I was discussing with my friend yesterday. You know, it's like the butterfly effect. It just literally continues on, you know. So, and it starts with just one person at a time, just, you know, doing the healing, or, you know, in embracing God, you know, bringing in the light, and acknowledging the dark, because the dark is here to teach us, and the dark is here as well. It is what it is, you know. Like, as we looked at the Old Testament, you know, there is darkness, you know. So, you know, the world is in a state of polarity. This is what we live on. And if we all woke up at the same time, it would probably be this instantaneous combustion, you know, if we all woke up. So, you know, we have to be mindful that some of us, like, if you're resonating with this and you're watching this video, you know, chances are you are awakening, or you have awakened and you're resonating with me. But we have to be so appreciative of our, you know, our fellow man and woman that aren't actually awakening perhaps in this lifetime, or aren't awakened at this point in time, and just acknowledge and thank them for, you know, what they are offering, because they're offering us a chance to, you know, see the opposite and then ascend. And they, you know, they may or may not do the same in this lifetime. It just depends on their soul contract. But I'll just go back to unplug from mass consciousness. I'll read the first paragraph. I won't read it all, because it is quite a long text, but this is what she channeled. There is a belief system based on fear, doubt, and distrust that is known as mass consciousness. It says it is safer to stay with the crowd, not to question what you have been taught. It says you cannot trust the divine to take care of your financial well-being or your emotional needs. It says you should be afraid and not take risks. It says that if you dare to stand up and live your truth, you'll be lost and alone, humiliated, rejected, or even destroyed. You are being guided to unplug from that system of beliefs. You are capable of a more creative, loving, and soul-satisfying way of living. To access this, let go of the way that is too small for your soul. So I think what's really, really highlighted here is that, you know, like, as we do ascend and we are awakening, it is going to be super uncomfortable, because there are going to be so many people, friends, family, you know, community groups that are just not going to resonate with us anymore. And it's sad. Like, it can be really sad, and it can be really heartbreaking, because there's almost an element of rejection as well, you know, and loneliness, and you just feel that you don't belong. Like, I remember it so well, you know. It gets easier. Like, it is so much easier now for me because I just tap into it and I'm able to realize that it's all a big part of the bigger picture, you know, and not to take anything personal ever. That's the biggest thing. But it is so much more exciting, I have to say, just from my point of view, from tapping into my higher self and connecting with the higher guidance, the infinite wisdom that is available to us. Like, honestly, it is just it's so expansive and it's so loving and caring. Like, I'll never go back. And I have lost friends and, you know, family members along the way, but I'm okay with that now. I feel so at peace with that, you know. It doesn't bother me anymore, you know. Like, I still send them love from afar. Like, I would never ever despise them for not seeing my point of view, or, you know, if I know there has been moments where I've been projected on for being the different one, the black sheep or the rainbow sheep, you might like to say. But this is what I've learned in quantum healing, is that, you know, we can send it back and project it back, and then it just like murks up the quantum field, or we can just literally sit with it, just let it go through us and just be like, this is all an illusion. Like, it's all an illusion. And I'm not going to take this personal, and I'm not going to project it back. And I'm going to alchemize this, and I'm going to send any ill feelings, any projections that have been cast on me, I'm going to send them back to source consciousness, to be lovingly transmuted back to love, back to where, you know, source is the origin of source, which is love. So yeah, that was a big thing for me. Like, when I learned my quantum healing was, you know, be really mindful of getting caught up in the drama, you know, and literally just alchemizing. It's all about alchemy and you know, magic. You know, one of my guides is Saint Germain, who is an incarnation of Merlin the magician, and also, oh, there's another incarnation. Oh, it's Joseph. We'll go into that as well. But he's had a few incarnations, but yeah, he's such an amazing guide. And whenever I have, you know, yuckiness in the field, I'll bring in his beautiful energy and ask. It's actually purple. Funny enough, I'm wearing purple today, so he must be with me today. I say he, she, you know, it's just an energy, but yeah, it's just a beautiful alchemical energy, and, you know, it's taught me how to alchemize any density, darkness, pain, suffering, all of it, you know, back to light. And it's so easy. You can actually call in that flame, that purple flame, and actually just ask it to run through your body, and then that's enough. You know, you don't even have to say anything or intend anything else, because that will just clear, and it automatically will send everything back to source for transmutation. So that's just another little hack, another, I guess, quantum healing hack. But yeah, so what else came through that I think I could share? Yeah, it's, you know, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is eliminate separation and fear, and really bring your, you know, your state of being back into harmony and complete inner peace. So there is an invocation on page 76 that was really good. So I might read that for you guys. I think you might like that. It's actually to do with forgiveness. So it's not part of 7, and it's not part of 37. What page was that? 76. I think you'll like it. And it really wants to be read, actually. Where does it come from? Oh, it comes from, Initiation by Water, 23. Okay, so the invocation. I choose to lovingly, gratefully, and kindly let go of that which I no longer need to hold on to emotionally. Forgiveness is easy for me. I forgive myself and all others for our human mistakes. I choose to honor a mistake as a chance to learn and an opportunity from the divine to grow more loving. I ask for protection, assistance, merciful grace, and tender compassion to bless me through this initiation so that I may thrive in joy. May all those who are divinely destined to become clear channels for spiritual love be supported by unconditionally loving beings that can assist them to successfully move through initiation and shine the light of spirit through their hearts for the benefit of all beings. So be it. So yeah, it's pretty powerful if you, to say that kind of an invocation. So just so you know, it's on page 76 of this book. And forgiveness is one of the hugest transmuters of energy. Literally, if someone is projecting on you, if you can forgive them instantaneously on an energetic level, not necessarily, accept them back into your field to abuse you again, but if you can energetically forgive them, it's just huge. It transmutes so much in a second. But yeah, saying that, just so you know, that does not mean that you have to bring a toxic person back into your life to abuse you again, but you can definitely do it in the quantum. Just do it as as an energetic release, and it's another really good way of transmuting. So what else came through? Okay, so unplugging from the mass consciousness is a big one. It's essentially the mass consciousness is the matrix, that's and at the moment, the majority of our mass consciousness is still living in fear. And so it's to unplug from it sometimes requires unplugging from certain family members and certain friends that are stuck in fear. Just for a while. It might only be for a few months, it might be for a year, it could be a couple of years. And then, you might then resonate with one another in a couple of years' time, and then you're back on the same frequency. But while they're on a different frequency and they're living in fear, if they're holding you back from, from what you feel is true, or if they're holding you back from, what you feel is trying to come through. For example, you can have positive influences, right? People that are super positive, and groups of people that can give you life, actually make you feel alive and happy, and they just being in their presence just gives you that spark, and you're just so excited. My dog's wagging his tail. He gives me that spark, I have to say. Thank God for our animals. They're just beautiful. Gosh, so grateful for them. It was my dog's birthday yesterday, actually. So he just turned 8, and I am super grateful for him because he's taught me so much. He's taught me unconditional love, but he has also taught me boundaries, and he's taught me boundaries and making sure your energetic field is super protected. That's essentially what dogs do. They give love, but they're also very fierce in protecting their boundaries. So, big lesson from our dogs. So thanks, Maxie. One of the best lessons I've ever learned. Hardest lesson for me as growing up a people pleaser, it's really hard to say no to people and to disconnect from certain people. And I grew up with a lot of narcissistic family members, so it became the norm for me to actually allow that kind of behavior in my life. And it's well, actually, that's not doing any service. For example, this is the opposite to what this group would do. So the group would, a group of people or a person, if they give you life, they broaden your horizons, they nourish you, they nourish your truth or your truths or whatever you're going through, they empower you to live your destiny. That they're the people to really hang on to and spend as much time as possible with. On the flip side, there are going to be people, that are still residing in a lower plane, lower frequency, and they may make you feel drained, confused, or that your issues are not resolving as you interact. So basically, they're not actually, they're not acknowledging you and your true authentic self. And that's no judgment on them. They're just not ready to see what you see, Some people are just not on the same level. And no, that's not correct. I wouldn't say level, on the same frequency. Because there's no levels. We're all the same, but it's just a frequency. But really it all comes back to listening to your heart and question whether, the people, the places, the things that you're associating with are actually in your highest good. Are they serving you? Do they give out the energy that you're giving them? You know, we need, it's the law of, there's a universal law of reciprocity, can't say it. Do you know the one? Reciprocity? Can't say it. But, you know, whatever, you know, you give out, you essentially should get back in. And that's where it's really interesting, because, you know, the universe will test you on that as well. So what you allow in, the universe will give you more of. So you really, if you don't like something or something's really upsetting you, you really have to shut it down, cut it off. You have to, you know, in order to move on to the next level of being. And it opens the door then to you know, other people that are then on the same frequency. But if you keep accepting that lower frequency, it shuts the door to your next level of attunement. So that's the only thing with the universe. It's like the law of attraction. You will get more of what you accept. So you have to be super mindful of what you accept. So I can't remember if I showed you this, but this is 37. It's the heart transmission. And I love that she's got the angel wings. We're all angels on this earth. We all have angel wings. We are all here for this magnificent time on earth, which is ascension. And it is super exciting. Like 2025, I can already see it through socials. I can already see, you know, like what people are writing and what they're saying, and, you know, how the mindset has shifted and evolved. And it's, yeah, it's super exciting. So, but at the same time, it's also very, very scary. And you know, I remember when I was first waking up, I even got to the point of like how reality hit me. It was like, I started questioning even how a car operated, and like how it would even like hold a certain amount of people. And oh my God, my mind overthought everything. It was just like, yeah, it was crazy. And I literally overthought everything. And, you know, that, I mean, that's the ego though, just sort of dismantling and realizing that there is like a higher power that has always got your back. It's always looking after you. And even in the sense of like, you know, flying, you know, that actually really helped me a lot, because I was always terrified of flying, always terrified of amusement parks, all those big rides. Still am. I'll probably never get over that. I don't know. Maybe I will. I just don't really have the urge to go on all those roller coasters, to be honest. They scare the heck out of me. But I used to be really scared of flying, and now I'm not so much, because I do have that divine. I have that trust in the divine, you know. So I know that God has always got, you know, our backs. He's always like she's always watching us and looking after us. And it's just trust. It's surrender. The amount of times I've surrendered in this journey is just incredible. Let me see if I can bring this down so you can see my dog. Hey, Maxie, can you come up here so we can see you? Oh, it's hard to see. Maxie? You can see his head. All right. Where is he? Max! No, he's so... sorry about that. He's so camera shy. No, he's not going to be one of those model dogs. Needless to say, 8 years later, and I still don't have an account for Maxie and all the pictures of him, even though he's super cute and he's super adorable. He just does not want photos. Anyhow, I'm going to leave it on that note. Yeah, I hope this helps in some shape or way or form. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you in the next video. Sending lots of love.